This is so amazing. Okay, I guess I'll start with this one. Hi there. Okay, I'm going through some things on LinkedIn that show how I am a victim. I'm a psychiatric victim. I was drugged against my will. I was lied about. I've been given diagnoses I disagree with. I feel like my character's been assassinated by my father, Fred Smith. Here this says, the only sensible way to get divorced in Chester County. This is what I should have paid. Now I'm trying to add up how much I've paid for my divorce, and I think it's around $75,000. But in the beginning, my husband and I went to this mainline family law center to get something called My Healthy Divorce. And for $4,000 per person, they were going to give us a divorce over 8 weeks that went through different specialists to go through the numbers, savings, all of this. It was going to be a really amicable process, and it would have cost us $8,000 as a couple. Instead of now, you know, there's been an IRS lien on my house. You know, I've lost about $70,000. I've lost investing-wise probably, who knows, $1 million. The attorneys that we had were much more interested in making our divorce go on for a long time and make a lot of money. There was never anything about resolving anything. When we finally got in front of, you know, a mediator to divide out our belongings, my husband and I, we sorted them out in an hour. We were told that we were the most amicable they'd ever had. We don't really, the materialism is so disgusting where I live that literally there's prices on the heads of children. The people here care more about money than anything. Anyway, I get upset. So here is, there was a time when my kids were switched from one school to another, and my husband and I had an emotional moment. A police officer came to my house for a well check visit to check to see if I was okay. I never should have done it. I never should have had that officer at my house, because when he came to my house, his intent, even before coming to my door, was, I think, to take my kids away. Anyway, it says here, I say cops in Chester County, Pennsylvania work closely hand in hand with divorce attorneys. They work to destabilize the situation and create profit. This cop was jealous that I said I bought my house in cash. Biggest mistake a girl can make is calling the cops think they care. They care about a paycheck and care of covering up for each other in my town. Cops are a fraternity, and if you're not part of their fraternity, you're out. So this upsets me because it says here, I think this officer was jealous that I said I bought my house in cash because I live in a place where, you know, I shouldn't have said it. I was proud of myself. I let my pride speak, and a sadist who wants to destroy families saw that as an opportunity to destroy me. I thought this was a great visit. This officer came through my house, and I thought, oh, that was a great visit. He liked my home. But I was wrong, because he said after visiting his home, he did not find any immediate physical danger and did not remove the children from the home. However, Officer Raffs advised Karen P. Reynolds, Esquire, the counsel for father, that he was concerned about mother's behavior. Officer Raffs told father's attorney that he observed mother exhibiting very rapid speech. Now this interests me because I was handing him a psych report from my psychiatrist at the time, Dr. Yoda Voigt, who said that I have ADHD and I have rapid speech. When I handed him that so that he could understand that my speech could possibly be rapid, he wouldn't take it from me. So the next day I went over to the police station and I gave him the psych report indicating my propensity for what I'll call extremely rapid speech that some people have that are of intellect above others. Okay. So then, Officer Rass told father's attorney he observed her making rapid speech and engaging what he called narcissistic behavior, making histrionic comments. Okay, histrionic is a sexist word. It means hysteria based on having a uterus. Like, really? And then it says, I'm going to rip all the wires out of my car so that father will have to do the driving. Okay, my daughter could walk across the street to school, and my husband had just picked her out, so I had to drive 40 minutes. I wanted him to do the driving. So if I ripped the wires out of my car, I wouldn't have had to do the driving. And I should have done that, because when I drove up to the school the next day, that's when I lost it, and then they said that was suicide, and then I lost my kids. Officer Rasp is a trained hostage negotiator, has education and experience dealing with psychological disorders. And I do too. And Officer Rass is a sadist because he points guns at kids' feet and says curfew. And that's sick. He advised Attorney Reynolds that he was not a doctor, but based on his training, psychological education, and experience, he believed Mother should undergo a psychiatric evaluation as her behavior was consistent with the cluster B personality disorders, borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, and histrionic personality disorder. This cop came to my house for a well-check visit, decided I was mentally ill, suggested I get a psychiatric disorder that I couldn't get for 5 months, and when I got it back, it was so full of lies, I literally became like suicidal. So it's not funny. It's not funny. I think they laughed over it, but it's not funny, and I'll show you where they laugh over it. Okay, here we go. Oh, nobody didn't take it down. Oh, here it is. This is a note, September 8th, 2015, and this is the day after my kids were switched schools, and it says, Thursday's 302 commitment. So this is like, they've already decided, a 302 commitment is putting someone in an insane asylum. So my attorney's putting a note to the file that this was the day they're going to put me in an insane asylum. Received a call from Karen Reynolds, that's my husband's attorney. She advised me that on Thursday night, September 3rd, Krissy's family, including her brother, tried to have her committed on a 302 commitment. She was picked up and taken to Valley Creek, where she was observed for 3 hours. At first, she was hysterical, but after calming down, she was released after signing an agreement not to hurt herself or others. Karen thought this was ridiculous, but understood. Now, why would Karen think that's ridiculous is one of two things. It turns out that Karen was on the phone with my father for 28 minutes prior to this. And I think my father sends me an email saying that he's never tried to have me committed. But he called my husband's attorney and she wrote this memo, and that was after they tried to commit me. And then he also wrote, and another time he tried to have me commit me.